You must resign. You yourself are incompetent. That means there is a problem. Either you are doing it on purpose to leave the Gabonese people in the dark, because all of you, as many as you are graduates of the Polytech. When we look at the CVs, you all have engineers. Or at least these CVs are misleading us. 2 months we can't connect generators.
Sometimes I usually think that African leaders, they don't want the development of the continent Africa. They don't want their countries to be developed. And I ask questions, why? Because this is their home, this is their place, this is where their children are born, their grandchildren are born. This is where their generation will be. But why don't they want the development of Africa? But that's a question, we will answer it with time, and that's why we are here. That's why we have Pan-Africanists. That's why we have a young generation who are looking towards to create better tomorrow for Africa. Now, there is this president of Gabon. The new president of Gabon has a spirit that all Africans want. We want a spirit of eradicating poverty in Africa. We want a spirit of condemning corruption in Africa. And we say this is a spirit of Ibrahim Traore, or spirit of Thomas Sankara, spirit of people, the leaders who wanted better tomorrow. Now, there is this Gabon president, I was talking about him. He was confronting leaders of his country on corruption, because they were given generators to install power in the villages of Gabon, but they didn't do that. Instead, they went with that generators and just put them on their village. That's why I'm asking. We have generators. Let's install power. But why do you have them at your villages just sitting like that without anything? And that's why I ask my first question. Why do African leaders just want Africa to be poor? What's the reason behind this? Let's watch this video of Gabon president confronting his members of his leaders from Gabon, and then we go react on it.
14 generators that you have installed in the provinces. So it's profit for you. You have not made an investment. It's we who are doing it now for you, because we must help you. But when it is necessary to leave the population in dark, you rush to cut the power. We have delivered 10 more generators recently, and they are in your stores. I am astonished to hear about 2,500 ECG agents. You cannot get these generators up and running for 2 months since they arrived, or you are not the technicians. Or do you not know your job? And if you do not know it, you must resign. A military man said it's shameful to do a job that we cannot know. We delivered 10 generators for free that have been there for 2 months. We will not have experienced this situation. 10 2.5 megawatt generators multiplied by 10, that's how many megawatts we earn. And we complain. So you yourself are incompetent. And I can't be a soldier in my career. I'm given 10 Kalashnikovs. After 2 months, I don't know how to use them. That means there is a problem. Either you are doing it on purpose to leave the Gabonese people in the dark, because all of you, as many as you are graduates of the Polytech. When we look at the CVs, you all have engineers. Or at least these CVs are misleading us. 2 months we can't connect generators. And now we still have 7 additional generators that are arriving. It will be the same thing. So why ask to make the investment again to buy generators if you don't know the drill? We bought it in a floating power station as the Minister of Energy and the water of our coast. I think that in 2 months, They will find lines to connect it. What do you propose instead? It's an emergency, beyond the criticism, where everyone goes on social media networks and does what they want. Give a solution so that we can have 150 megawatts in 2 months. Give me a solution. You don't have one, but you are good at criticizing what has been done. We have brought in 22,500 electricity meters that they have already been delivered and are there. In the long term, for Gabon, I think we need 400,000 meters. This is type of meters we want now. You must exchange all the old meters for me so that we no longer find ourselves in fraud. If you don't want to work, make way for others. And yes, at the time of Divungi, we did not experience this, and I say it. Look at the images that were presented to you. It is shameful, and I even want to believe that you are making Gabonese people drink water that is unfit for consumption. Yes, when you look at the images, that is it. And you are happy to get their money back at the end of each month. The provincial administration leads us to the following.
Okay.
The review of salaries and benefits downwards. Whoever is not happy, they resign. For the provincial administrator, it is 5 million and kept benefits. Above, you are sanctioned. I do not want to hear more about the salaries of the 10 million. The 15 million, the 20 million, it's over. My generals have even 5 stars. No one has a salary of 5 million. We reached 3 million. We have 5 stars and with the duration. And then you retire. Look at our... So 5 million is more than enough for a Gabonese director to live with that money. Don't want to hear about salaries of 7 million or 8 million.
Welcome back. This is Gabon President. This is the spirit we want from African leaders. Though a lot of people are saying he's a puppet, but sometimes puppets too, they change. Now, for him to call out and confront these leaders, we have seen on their faces, they are just looking like they are suspects. Like, we want change in Africa. Everyone wants change in Africa. You have your children here. You have your grandchildren here. Your generation is here in Africa. And yet, you are happy to see them living or sleeping, or they are in hunger and starvation. Now, the government has money. Government has ideas. The government can do these things. If it's constructing roads, they can construct roads. If it's installing electricity, they can do that. We have the resources. We have the resources that can be used on that purpose. You may find government leader in Africa is using fleets of cars like 10 convoy cars. He has a private jet, which is millions of money or billions of money. He's living good. His children are living good. But the friends of the children or the friends of the children are living in poverty. And yet, we got every resources. Now, these Gabon leaders here, I think these are the MPs, ministers, they were given generators to go and install in their villages or in their areas. Instead of doing that, the generators are just there. What is the purpose of you to be a leader if you don't want development? What is your purpose for you to vie for a chair on a government if you don't want development? What do you want to lead? Are you happy leading people who are starving to death? Are you happy leading people who don't have water to drink? Are you happy leading people who are poor? And these Western countries, they come to Africa, they exploit Africa, they take our resources, they go and build their countries. But the countries that we have the resources, we don't want to build these countries. For example, a road to be constructed somewhere here in Africa, in Kenya, or somewhere here in Congo, or somewhere here in Tanzania. You have the machineries. Everything is there. The government is giving out money. And then you as a leader, the local leader, you come take the caterpillars, put them somewhere stationaries, and then you go and enjoy yourself. But everything is ready. These leaders from Gabon, everything is ready. It's very sad that a country like Gabon, right now in era 2021, we don't have electricity. A country like Ghana, they don't have electricity. Country like Nigeria, no electricity. Because in some countries I've come to notice that electricity comes in, in shares, like this area they get electricity from this time to this time, and then it goes off, then the other area gets electricity. It's so sad to see African countries are living like that, and yet we got uranium, we got copper, we got gold, we got everything that we need, even to try to generate our own power. Now, why are these leaders in power, and what are they doing in power? Because if you have been ruling for 10 years and yet you cannot manage to have your country get electricity, what are you doing as a leader? What are you doing? It is so sad to see right now in this generation, in 2021 or in 21st century, that there is an areas in Africa, areas in Kenya, areas in Ghana, South Africa, areas in Sudan, that people don't have water to drink, clean water. Just the other day in Ghana has been exploited until the water underground has been damaged. Now they are importing water, the sachets water. There is problem. That is a bigger problem. And those countries that have puppets as presidents, for example, Kenya, welcome visitors, you welcome the whites people, or we call them the white supremacists, because not all white are bad, but you welcome some set of people. They come to your country, they exploit your country, they give you rules, they give you orders to make your country poor. This leader from Gabon, this president from Gabon, this is the kind of presidents we need. And it's so happy, I'm so happy that he can come out openly and condemn corruption, because corruption is what is making Africa to be behind. A lot of African countries are trailing behind because of corruption. A lot of African countries, the people are running away from their countries simply because there is corruption. Every sector in the government is corrupt, because I see when agricultural sector, we have this what we call manure is given out to farmers to go plant their products, but yet the local government is intervene, maybe increasing prices of that manure, or they'll just come up with ideas to swindle money from the people. It's like African presidents, most of them are happy when they see we have bad roads, when they see people are crying, when they see there's a lot of children home not going to school. I think they are so happy when they see a lot of people are crying on the media saying that we are suffering, because that's what maybe is making them think they are strong than others. I'm so sad that in 21st century, there is a country that electricity goes on and off every time. Like in a week, 7 days, this area gets electricity for 2 days, the other one gets for 2 days. And yet, we have sun. We can get electricity from solar panels. We have waterfalls. We have everything that we can try to come up with ideas. Now, a lot of scandals is happening. Maybe in Gabon, this is Gabon as a country. But when you see countries like Kenya, South Africa, when you see countries like Tanzania and Ghana, Nigeria, we have a lot of problems. A lot of problems going on, and the problems are because we got corrupt leaders on power. We got corrupt leaders on these institutions. Chairmen are very corrupt. They are just giving people, like a institution, like a health institution. You find while they are selecting leaders there, they are selecting leaders who are not fitted for the job, because he is my friend, because he is my family member. So someone comes in this institution, this company does not know anything. So, water company, you go there, you take a pastor you put there as a chair. You see, like education institution, you go there, you look someone who has done plumbing because he's your friend or a family member, you put him there. And with this idea or with this ideology of putting my person in power who is not fitted for that work, that's one of the things that's killing Africa, because they don't have any idea of what's happening. For example, football has been killed in Kenya, in Ghana, simply because you take people who are not fitted to chair the football or federation of football in your country. You take someone there, a doctor, you go and put him there as a chairman of football or sports in your country. How? He don't know anything about sports. He don't know anything about football. He don't know anything. Now, the career of the youths of that country is dying every day because no one is there to know the importance of that. Sports is dying in that country because the leader who is there is not for the sports. He even don't love sports. He's a chairman of football in the country, and yet he loves playing chess. Maybe he loves playing basketball. So he don't have the passion for it. That's what's happening in Africa. And I think it's high time that we wake up as the people of Africa and we try to ask questions, because the best thing to do is to ask questions. If we don't ask questions, we will end up having another century coming in, and we will be here just talking and saying we must change as Africa. We'll be here just talking to say that Africa must unite. But we have to do something. Leader or the president of Gabon, I clap for you, because I love what you are doing. I love how you told them that you are a leader and a military leader. You see what's happening in Burkina Faso, in Sahel, in Mali, in Niger. The military leaders are doing good job, because you cannot lead people who are starving. You cannot lead people who are sick. You cannot lead people who don't have even water to bath. So I think that we need leaders who can come out boldly and say no to corruption, and they themselves too, they don't, bulge into these corruption activities. Because if you are corrupted, like President of Kenya, if you are corrupted, he has a lot of scandals. So he cannot condemn corruption, because you will be told, even you have done that. You grabs people lands. Another person, maybe your friends, goes on and grabs another person's land. You can't talk because you are the master of that corruption. So I just want to say, or I just want to condemn the leaders who don't want to see the development of Africa, the leaders who think of themselves, the leaders who don't see the black brothers or cousins as their brothers. I condemn that. And I think we will all come out and ask questions through this social media, anywhere you can decide. As the youths of Africa, we need to come out and ask these leaders questions, because it's our land, it's our motherland, and we need to take care of our motherland, because there's no another land more than this. You see, those Africans in diaspora or migrants in some countries like Germany, maybe England, USA, they are being sent away to their countries, because it's time to build our own countries in Africa. It's time to build our continent. It's time to build Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa. We cannot run. You can't run from your country. You will still come back there. Okay? So this video was about this Gabon leader who called the leaders of Gabon, and he told them to keep off corruption, or else if you don't want to work for the people, go back home. That's what he said. Go back home if you don't love my rules. That's what he said. Tell me what you think on the comment section about this video. Of course, I am the Kenyan Beast, and we are doing it the African way every day, every time. Until next episode, peace be with you.